Unfortunately, I am a Manchester United supporter. Now, I say that because it's been painful, absolutely painful. Chelsea Football Club. They've had enough of Jackson. They put him in a plane 4 times, and they finally figured out how to get him out of there. He's just been too much trouble. Good luck against Man City. We'll be back to talk about it on this program. I'm predicting a loss to City. Okay, Manchester United is not the club that they used to be. They are nowhere near a top club. Okay, here we are again. The EPL is underway, and things are starting to unfold. Liverpool, who has now decided to spend close to $500 million, is starting to take charge, and Florian Wirtz hasn't even been their best player. Ekitike is figuring out how to score. Szoboszlai is reminding us that he's very good at set pieces, and Liverpool is on top. You got Man City slipping up a little bit. Don't know really what's going on there. A couple of guys got hurt. They're going to make some changes in the goalkeeping realm, so we'll see what turns out there. Manchester United. Arsenal is Arsenal. They've had some wins. They lost a game. No reason to freak out. Arsenal will still be a part of the conversation. Tottenham had their blip. We thought they were great. Maybe beating Man City isn't that big of a thing. Brighton just showed us that they can do that too. So there's that. Chelsea Football Club. They've had enough of Jackson. They put him in a plane 4 times, and they finally figured out how to get him out of there. He's just been too much trouble, too many red cards, and João Pedro is the real deal. And I think he's proven that. They've made some additions. Chelsea is really the team to watch. Now, maybe I've outed myself in the past. Unfortunately, I am a Manchester United supporter. Now, I say that because it's been painful, absolutely painful, watching the way that the last couple of years have unfolded. All of the stories, the rumors, the realities of what is wrong with this club. What is wrong with this football club is the question. You've had numerous managers. It could be Van Gaal. It could have been Jose Mourinho, Gunnar, Solskjaer. He almost had it. Carrick, Ralph Rangnick, and Eric Ten Hag, and now Amorim. And I think even Giggs had 2 or 3 games somewhere in there. But I've made this argument, and I'll make it again, that I do think that Manchester United, all things being equal, would be better served to have a manager of their football club who doesn't need a GPS to find the training ground. What I mean by that is they need somebody who knows the place, knows the mentality, has a perfect understanding of what the past represented and what the future could bring. Now, I'm not suggesting put Gary Neville on the sidelines. He was terrible in Spain, and he probably would be terrible all over again. The irony of it is he was a terrible manager, but he's the one that's all over our TV screen telling us who can manage and who can't. It's interesting. But he's not on the list. Gareth Southgate might be on the list. But the reason why I'm even talking about a list is Amorim is still there. This is where he's gone wrong. Last year, we all knew the situation, right? He said, I don't want the job. I want to take over in the summer when I have all that time to have the ability to have a preseason, to really share my idea. Remember that? I was hired on my idea. Okay, yeah, we still don't know what that idea is, man. But playing with a 3-back system, trying to force this, not really getting the results. The goals have been hard to come by. A lot of own goals and penalty kicks seem to be saving the day for you right now. And up next is Manchester City, who's just lost 2 on the trot. And now, what does that mean? I mean, are they finally going to figure it out? The international break's going to happen, and then we spin out of this with Manchester United and Manchester City. The question is after a 3-2 and a questionable penalty kick, it gets the win over Burnley, 97th minute or so. Is Amorim the wrong guy? I mean, I don't want to say is he the right guy. The question is he the wrong guy? Watching him pace back and forth on the sidelines, he looks lost. And his most recent comments is what needs to be talked about. Sometimes I feel like leaving this club. I feel like quitting. Just like the one thing you never say in this business. You never quit. Ever quit. I mean, quitting is maybe a reverse psychology that he's trying to do with the ownership group or his employers, because he'd be stupid to quit. If you quit, then you basically were not fired, and then you don't get paid. You quit, or it's mutual, whatever, then you obviously have something else because things are going so well that you want to get out, and you can buy mutual, leave the club, and the club is okay with that. But otherwise, you have a contract that you need to adhere to. And if you quit, you don't get the money. If they fire you, they got to pay you out. Look at Ten Hag. Eric Ten Hag. By the way, Jose Mourinho, Gunnar Solskjaer, and Eric Ten Hag all got fired within 8 days of each other. That's 3 guys that used to occupy the bench at Old Trafford. Former Manchester United managers. Now, the Germans didn't wait around at Bayer Leverkusen. They didn't wait around at all. They said, this is not going in the right direction with Ten Hag. We don't like it. This isn't what the plan was. You're out. 2 games, 2 league games, 3 total because they had the Pokal, which is their cup. And they just said, enough is enough. And it prompted Ten Hag to say that this is unprecedented. No, it's just because you just worked at a club that couldn't make up their mind. For over a year, it was the conversation, is this guy the right guy or the wrong guy? What do we do? Do we keep him? Do we fire him? Then we got to pay him? And we all know how frugal Sir Jim Radcliffe is. I mean, they don't even, I think they're even taking trains now to the game. He doesn't even want to pay for the bus. So this situation at Manchester United is getting incredibly interesting and tricky because the players themselves, who have been blamed for a lot of this stuff for the course of the last 4 or 5 years, are underperforming. I mean, let's face it. When you lose at Old Trafford to Arsenal, that's one thing. Arsenal's a very good team. But if you go up against Burnley and 3-2, you barely get out of there by the skin of your teeth, and you're relying, well, not relying, but you got a very questionable penalty kick to get out of there in a 3-2. Not terrific. I mean, not the best result against Fulham either, the 1-1. And now you're kind of asking the question, where is this team? I mean, Cunha gets hurt, right? The players get hurt. The Arsenal's dealing with it. Saka got hurt. Odegaard fell on his shoulder. He can't, everybody is going to have to deal with injuries. They happen. But Cunha is out. Mbeumo hasn't done anything really yet. And Seško is just like the most expensive bench player in the history of the game. They made some moves. They got rid of Højlund. Højlund has made his move to Napoli, but Xerxes still around and doing Xerxes things. But Seško still sitting on the bench, kind of waiting for his opportunity. This is wacky, man. I mean, it's crazy because if they lose this game, I'm going to go out on a limb. If they lose to Manchester City, I'm going to go out on a limb and say whatever the next game after Man City is will be Amorim's last. That's it. A lot of people thought that if he would have tied and or lost to Burnley, that would have been it, and they would have had the entirety of the international break to find a new manager. But this has got to end. Manchester United is not the club that they used to be. They are nowhere near a top club. They act like it. They talk about the past. But until they get their future figured out, they are going to be a middle-tier team battling it out with the likes of Burnley. And this is not getting better anytime soon. Good luck against Man City. We'll be back to talk about it on this program. I'm predicting a loss to City. Okay, they're going to lose to Man City. And then whatever that game is after it, I haven't even looked yet, that will be Amorim's last. And that's probably a good thing. We'll see you next time.